Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I decided to, in light of the whole gang stalking issue, or let's say phenomenon, I decided to make a series about toxic people and how to deal with them. And this video will be the kickstart of all that, and I'll be talking about one specific type of personality that is toxic and that you should avoid at all costs. And of course, if you are forced to deal with them, I'll give you some tips on how to deal with them in order to save yourself some mental energy and not be slowed down, because that is generally what toxic people do. They slow you down, they bring you down, they put you down, they suck away that life force and energy that you have, that you need for work, for relationships, for friends, for whatever you need to do or accomplish in your life. So what is the first type? Sorry, before I get to that first type, I want to talk a little bit about gang stalking and how it relates to toxic people. Of course, most of you, if you've had people gang stalking you or trying to pull off the, what I like to call, as I mentioned, the illusion or the cheap tricks of gang stalking, including brightening, color coding, same time exit entry, private conversations, street theater, and of course I would imagine that most of you would be annoyed by the private directed conversations and the street theater more than you would be by the one hubcap brightening whatever thing. But both of them, of course, all of them are annoying to various degrees. I personally don't like people talking about my private business, especially if there are people that I don't know. And I don't like people following me to my accommodation and doing street theater. I don't particularly like that. But anyway, these are all toxic people, right? They're toxic people that are trying to imbue your life with toxicity. So if you're able to deal with toxic people and toxic vibes, then you will be able to deal with gang stalking. It's a little bit of a bigger challenge, but, you know, it is the same concept, really, if you can just, extrapolate. So what is this first personality type of toxic person? Is the over-controlling hypercritical person. So this is usually an older woman that is very bitter and angry about her life. It can be a man, but they're usually older people who are envious or jealous of you as a younger person, and they feel like they have no control over their life. They feel that they are envious of others, they're insecure about their lives, they're not happy where they are, they can see the potential in you, and of course they need to be a bitch, over control all the situations. They try to lord over some kind of control, make you submissive in some way. And they do that by being overcritical. They will claim to have these superior standards, which they're constantly trying to impose on you, whilst, of course, almost saying it in a way that makes them sound like they are perfect, which, of course, is not true, because they're bitter and angry people. And as we know, bitter, angry people are usually insecure, and they are nowhere close to being perfected human beings. So these types of people, will criticize very small, tiny things that you do. A lot of times they will bring up issues that don't even exist. They will try to create problems with you. They may even go so far as to sabotage something and pin it on you falsely, just to make you feel bad, make you feel guilty or ashamed of yourself, or like you try to humiliate you in some way, that like, okay, you're doing things wrong, and you're full of holes and stuff like that. And of course, it reminds you of the saying in the Bible where Jesus says, I'm not a believer in the Bible, but you can quote Jesus as saying, you see the little speck in the eye of your neighbor, but you do not see the log of wood in your eyes, or the plank of wood in your eyes. And that perfectly fits in the situation. So they're going to be very hypercritical of you. They're going to try to create problems. And of course, the way they communicate these things is not in a civilized, gentle manner. It is in a very rude, very crass, very demeaning kind of tone of voice. Sort of like, I'm better than you, you know nothing, you are bad at this and that, you need me to tell you what to do and what not to do. And they try to lord over some kind of control over you. And they're going to try to mess with, even a lot of times cast some kind of doubt in you, like, you have done this, you haven't done this. Well, actually, no, I haven't. So, you know, just because you say so doesn't mean it is the case. So they're going to try to cast doubt. They're going to try to gaslight you, if you know what that term means, into thinking that you have done something which you have not done, by pinpointing flaws that you do not actually have, or actions that you have not actually taken, and pinning those on you. And they're always trying to over-control the situation. They'll always be watching you or guarding you, making you almost feel like you are some kind of, you know, misbehaving scumbag. And of course, the best way to deal with these people is to remain calm at all times. They're trying to get a rise from you. These people are nasty. They're toxic by nature. They thrive in conflict. They like to get people emotionally riled up. They want you to get angry. They want you to feel sad. They want you to feel emotional. They want you to react. Because these people, they're full of hate, they're full of anger, they're full of toxicity, and they thrive in this kind of chaos. So, you know, you reacting and lashing out and starting to shout and all of that, it's not going to help the situation. It's just going to give them more power, because they love doing that. They love shouting. They love being nasty cunts or assholes, whichever the case is. They love doing that. They love shouting. They love being nasty to people. They love being rude and arrogant. It comes completely natural to them. They have a black heart, some of them. So you remain calm and collected, okay, and stoic, and you just tell them, excuse me, but no, I have not done this or this or that. Excuse me, but you do not get to talk to me that way. Please leave me alone. And of course, you know, whatever they try and get back to you and say to you, never, never, never go down the emotional route. There should be no emotion in your voice tonality. It should be almost robotic, actually, like a rock. Cold, calm, calculated. Whatever, they start shouting and this and this and that, and you just look them straight in the eye and you say, yeah, but this is not true, da-da-da, 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 you know, it is not like this. Excuse me, but I think this might be wrong. I think you might be mistaken, this and that. So you will seem like you are very calm and collected, and this person is completely losing their mind for no reason, because they're the crazy ones, they're the freaks. So that's the best way to deal with them. Another thing is to avoid them as much as you can. And if this is not possible, you just ignore what they say. You just say, yeah, okay, yes, sure, Just the concept is, don't feed fuel into the fire. Now, I don't mean that you should cave. Don't cave, but don't feed fuel in the fire. Just ignore and say, yeah, sure, okay, whatever, and just ignore them like they don't fucking exist. And that is the best way you can deal with these types of people. These people are negative. They hate their lives. They are taking all their insecurities and all the lack of achievement and things they have not done in their lives and the work they have not put into making themselves a better person, and they are doing it to you. They're throwing all that negativity on you, as if you are responsible for their lives, their miserable lives and the misery that they're suffering. You are not, of course. And you should not care what they are saying about you. These people are going to be so critical. These are usually also people who are very gossipy. So they might, you know, pinpoint very minor flaws in you or minor mistakes that you've made and make them so huge, or actually things that they imagine to be flaws. And they will sit there and gossip about it and laugh and joke and make fun of you, or, you know, just talk shit about you behind your back. Because these people got nothing better to do. And these are usually older women who are quite bitter about their life, probably because they haven't found a husband or whatever the case might be. So this is my tip for these types of people. You might even find them in the workplace. I found a pattern Okay, even in the workplace, there was a lady like that. Most of the women in the workplace were married. She was beyond that age and she was not married. She was very, very bitter, very angry, would shout for no reason whatsoever. For some reason, the management thought it was acceptable to keep this lady working there. If I was in management, I would have taken some serious corrective actions against her, or else just fired her. But you know, that was not the case, and everyone saw a problem with her behavior, but a lot of people didn't want to speak up because, you know. But the point I was making is, every time I would deal with her, I would always speak to her in a very calm manner. I never lashed out at her. I never you know, I never shouted at her. I never got emotional with her. But sometimes I would tease her and I would just make a joke of a lot of things she said because, to be honest, she was a bit of a joke to me. So, yeah, so there is a pattern there. These are the type of people. Don't feed the fuel into the fire, okay? Don't throw in that wood into the fire. You don't need to. Just stay calm and composed. Avoid them as much as you can. If they approach you with their twisted mentality that they need to approach you for whatever reason, just to come and shout at you and be nasty and everything, you calmly reply to them in the most rational, logical ways. Excuse me, but this is not applicable to me. Please leave me alone. Whatever you're saying is not true, and just, you know. And of course, another aspect is, these types of people are going to try to put a fast one on you. They're going to talk very fast to you, because they don't want to give you the time to respond to all their bullshit, because they know what they're spewing out of their mouths is bullshit. So everything they say is very quick, because they don't want you to have the time to reply. They're not trying to have a conversation so much as verbal diarrhea that they're just bombarding you with, and they want you to just accept all that negativity and just cave. And of course, you're not going to do that. You're just going to stand there like a statue, like a stoic person, and you're going to reply slowly to the things that are being said, or ignore them. And of course, that's going to piss them off even more. And they might just start avoiding you because they don't want to deal with someone who doesn't give them what they want, because they're not seeing that pain and misery that they're inflicting on another person. You know, another thing is, of course, you know, it's good to give you thick skin to just avoid their negativity. It's like a yapping dog. There's like a rabid yapping dog. You don't have to even acknowledge what is being said or done. Sorry, said, but, you know, done by the yapping, angry dog. You just kind of ignore the dog and just be like, okay, whatever, you're rabid, so I don't care. Anyhow, stay strong in dealing with gang stalking. I hope you're doing well. I hope you take these tips to heart and use them in your daily lives. Anyhow, stay strong.